What is love? Well, in Madoka Magica, love is a force that seems to act as a power capable of defying the heavens themselves. I mean, look no further for proof of this than Heaven Denier Supreme Homura Akemi, who usurped the law of cycles, or so she thinks, with her love alone. Yeah, okay, Luca, this is stuff we all know. We read the title, stop beating around the bush. Okay, look, so recently a terrible crime was committed against the Madoka community. A niche YouTuber had an opinion. Very recently, an incredibly underrated Madoka tuber posted this video about the ship between Homura Akemi and Sayaka Miki, HomuSaya. Now, jokes aside, Saint is actually a really great video creator, and the video in question is really well put together and a great analysis of Homura as a character from an angle some people don't tackle. My so-called attack is obviously just in jest. Please go and subscribe to them and show them some support. They definitely deserve it. Anyway, while Saint raised a great number of points, I'm actually one of the basement dwellers whose favorite ship is HomuSaya. Because of this, I figured that I might make a video discussing why it's such a fascinating pairing to me personally. This isn't even a response video at all. In fact, I probably won't use any of Saint's talking points, at least on purpose, as this video is just my thoughts about them, spurred into creation as a result of seeing Saints. Really, I figured this would be a great first video in this little mini-series I'm doing. You probably read the title and thumbnail and saw the mention of a day one in there somewhere. I'll talk about that a bit more later on, but for now, please just enjoy my ramblings about Yuri that's so doomed that not even a miracle would save it from falling apart. For me personally, there's something that's just so fascinating about the idea of defiantly pairing two characters together who the narrative so desperately wants to tell you hate each other. And it's not like this is not true. Sayaka and Homura, they fucking absolutely despise each other, man. I mean, Homura literally tries killing Sayaka at least one confirmed time, so yeah, we're not off to a great start here. But beyond all that, we gotta look into the weeds and find out what really makes these two so interesting to pair. And for me, that comes from what could have been. Going off of what little interactions we get between them in the first timeline, if we go off of Drama CD1, we know that Sayaka would have likely become a friend of Homura as evident by her cheering the girl on during the track and field event. As a tangent, I know you guys hear me mention the drama CDs quite a lot, so, let me know if you want me to do a full deep dive on them one day. Anyway, while this is great, this is also literally the only canon interaction between them that's even remotely positive. But why? Personally, I chalk this up to setting. Sayaka is friendly with Homura when they're in a domestic setting, but all the hostility comes when they are both in the world of magical girls. You know how they say opposites attract? The implication is then that two people who are too similar will repel each other. This is a point of HomuSaya that I love so much because whoa, wait. Homura and Sayaka are similar? Since when? Aren't these two polar opposites? No, see, that's what the show wants you to believe. We gotta think harder than that, though. It's not so simple that you can say, oh, they're too different to work and call it a day. This is the one instance of a possible pair failing in the show because they are so alike in very specific ways, so let me show you how. Ahem. Hypothetical viewer, what do we know about Sayaka? Well, she is a loud, outgoing girl who isn't afraid to wear her feelings on her sleeve, deeply cares for her friends, and has a strong sense of righteousness. Her driving force is love, and she will inevitably go too far and ruin her chances to succeed. Okay, good. Now, what about Homura? Homura is quiet, either shy and timid or stoic depending on where she is in the timeline, very closed off, seems to care very little for anyone but Madoka, and almost always has an upper hand due to knowing the outcomes of certain events, meaning she can keep going until she succeeds. Uh, oh man, this sucks. I can't make my case with this. Okay, scrap that. We gotta do this differently. While Sayaka and Homura may appear to be opposites, this is actually only true on the surface. Narratively, these two occupy a shared space that is unique to them, and it has to do with the nature of how and who they love. I have plans to discuss Kyosuke Kamijo in a little bit more depth in the future, so I'm not going to focus on him too much here. But what I will say is that he and Madoka are both important catalysts in the lives of Sayaka and Homura respectively, and as you know, are the reason they make their wishes. I don't ever do shopping discourse or wait, what does that say shopping? Bruh, okay. I don't ever do shipping discourse or discussion. It sucks, but here's my take on HomuSaya since it's kind of my favorite pairing. I think it's pretty clear that Homura hates Sayaka because she's actually jealous. I mean, think about this. In timelines where Sayaka maybe doesn't fall to despair, she either will get with Kyosuke or be able to move on if he goes with Hitomi. Yeah, we haven't really seen these, but this is the logical assumption to make, as the reason she falls so quickly is because of the love triangle drama. So if she didn't have that drama, she would at least be a little better. Sayaka likes Kyosuke and makes her wish for him. And Homura likes Madoka, eventually doing the same for her. How many times do you reckon Homura has seen Sayaka get to be with Kyosuke or be at peace with the relationship? So many times she's probably seen Sayaka get what Homura herself wants with Madoka. She's bound to grow some hostility there. There's also a level of projection from Homura in my opinion. She calls out Sayaka for being reckless, doing things that will hurt Madoka, having a foolish wish, etc. But that's literally things that Homura herself does all the time. Homura is always rushing into danger, regardless of the effects it has on her and regardless of how Madoka would feel about it. Homura should, and does, know Madoka is a very empathetic person, so even seeing a stranger get hurt is enough to make her feel horrible. That feeling is only amplified tenfold if it's someone she actually is friends with and cares about. And yet, Homura continues to do these same things that she criticizes Sayaka for because she's a hypocrite. I'm sure that Homura knows she is not going about this in the best way she could, but changing now is too hard. If she changes her approach, if she stops, she'll be unprepared for whatever is coming as a result, and in her mind, she will lose. And that's another thing Sayaka and Homura share, an unwavering yet destructive determination. Sayaka is defined by her inability to change or even consider any other point of view. Her moral clashes with Kyoko see her blinded by the need to follow the norms set by Mami, making her refuse to listen to why Kyoko's worldview is so harsh and what she's trying to teach her. Even when told point blank by Mami, her own mentor, that she needs to be more thoughtful about her wish if it's for someone else, she still acts on a whim, albeit a more thought out one, in order to step in and take Mami's place when she dies. Even when Sayaka matures enough to be more level-headed in rebellion, when she herself becomes a teacher trying to get Homura to change her point of view on things, it fails. Sayaka shows change and tries to impart this onto Homura, but fails because Homura herself is still stuck where Sayaka once was. And I bet that seeing Sayaka progress even a little bit has to be a sore spot for Homura, and it's probably why she'll be so cruel later specifically to Sayaka. And you know, the worst thing about this is the same reason why Madoka and Homura are such a hard pairing to make work. This is one-sided. Sayaka's point of view on this is entirely justified. All that she's seeing is a violent and aggressive girl attacking her for seemingly no reason who is obsessed with her best friend. Yeah, of course she's going to be hostile back. And Sayaka's hostility later will only continue to make sense because Homura does nothing to actively improve their rapport. HomuSaya is a terrible pairing. It really is. But it's terrible because we know what could have been. Homura actively ruins any relationship she could have because she's too afraid of being weak again. Moving on to Walpurgisnacht Rising, we have a very clear fandom expectation regarding the fate of HomuSaya. The relationship seems to be heading towards a toxic one where Sayaka will need to rely on Homura in order to survive in this new world. Hell, I'm even convinced that Sayaka's bandaged look is a result of her being healed by Homura. It's kind of sad, really, because it's true that they can never have a proper relationship. Hell, maybe not even a proper friendship. That said, just because they would be bad together doesn't mean there's nothing there. I'd argue they're bad together because they have so much there that they could bond over, but Homer's inability to change prevents it. And yet, I continue to hope and I continue to love this pair. The drama is just too good not to enjoy it. So, about this series. What the hell is it? Well, you see, I'm excited for Walpurgisnacht Rising, and I'm sure most of you are too. I wanted to do something special for the release, and so I've settled on this. A week-long series where I'm going to upload a video every day covering basically some topics I might never get the chance to do big videos for or cover in my longer breakdowns. It's not necessarily topics that are all related to Walpurgisnacht Rising. In fact, I don't know if very few of them will even mention the film. I just have a lot of ideas related to the series, and an opportunity has presented itself to talk about them in a fun way. This is also my way of saying thanks for getting me to 600 subscribers. You guys are in for a real treat with the topics I've decided to talk about, and I think they will really surprise you. Make sure you stick around and check them all out, and by all means, let's have some discussion about the topics too. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all again tomorrow as we continue our countdown to Walpurgisnacht Rising.